Closing out the show tonight, that is Dele Sasimi and the Estuary 21 recorded at the Maida Vale Studios. And that is all I've got time for this week. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'm Jamie Cullum, and this has been a Folded Wing production for BBC Radio 2. Trevor Nelson's up next, but first, it's time for the news.
This is Radio 2.
On BBC Sounds.
And on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.
With the BBC News at 10 o'clock, this is Jason Kay. A group of leading artificial intelligence experts have signed an open letter warning that the technology could be capable of making humanity extinct. But other specialists say fears likening the risks of AI to that of nuclear war or a global pandemic are being exaggerated. Imad Mostaq is the founder of Stability AI. That's the UK-based firm behind an AI image creation tool called Stable Diffusion. And he's among the experts to put his name to the warning.
Teachers can no longer set essays at school because of ChatGPT. You see images being imagined from nothing. Where we're going to be in a year, a few years, nobody can tell. And that's why we have to take some actions now to put the appropriate guardrails around it and have the appropriate conversations before this proliferates even further.
Vladimir Putin has promised to improve air defences around Moscow after a drone strike hit the city this morning. The Kremlin's accused Ukraine of being behind what it called an act of terrorism, but Kiev has denied responsibility. The Ukrainian capital was also hit by an air raid, the 17th this month. Andrew Danieri from the American think tank, the Atlantic Council, says the pressure is rising on President Putin.
Over the past week or so, the Kremlin has launched its largest drone strikes since the full-scale invasion began on Kyiv. And in response, we see these drone attacks on Moscow. And so Putin, I think, is losing a little bit of headroom with which to escalate. I don't think he wants to use nukes, but there's not a whole lot of other conventional weapons that he can use.
A protester who glued themselves to the floor at the Oxford Union Debating Society during a talk by a feminist academic has been removed by police. Critics of Kathleen Stock argue that her views on gender identity are transphobic, but she says they should be debated. Philip Schofield's been dropped as an ambassador by the Prince's Trust after he admitted lying about an affair with a young male colleague. The charity said it wasn't appropriate to continue working with the former This Morning presenter who quit ITV last week. The trial of a man accused of carrying out the deadliest ever attack on America's Jewish community has begun in Pittsburgh. Robert Bowers could face the death penalty if he's convicted of murdering 11 people at a synagogue in the city. Our correspondent Gary O'Donoghue was in court.
Robert Bowers' counsel